Hello, friends. I'm Miranda Carter, and welcome to the Friend Zone. If your little ones are anything like mine, he absolutely loves Blippi. And Blippi likes to go to places that are fun for kids to explore and learn at. And I thought to myself, why don't we have anything like that here on the Oregon coast? And so the Friend Zone was born. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. The name, the friend zone. Why name it something that's got a negative connotation to it and is clearly meant for adults? Well, I'm of the mind that you can always redefine things. And that's what the friend zone is really all about. The friend zone is going to be a place where kids can come and make friends. It's a place where they can bring their friends. And I also want to redefine how we play. If you think about kids who have special needs or have sensory processing disorder, they typically have an area to themselves to play with, and you probably didn't even know that because you don't see it. And I kind of want to break that stigma by making it so that sensory rooms are accessible to everyone. As many of you know, it rains here on the Oregon coast. Kind of a lot. And so I wanted to create a place where the rain didn't affect our play. Sure, I could create a park that's got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. Allowing neurotypical kids and neurodivergent kids to play simultaneously, side by side, it fosters acceptance, inclusion, and it breaks those stigma barriers, and it makes it easier for all of us to become friends. So some of the things that are going to make the friend zone stand out from a lot of the other play places that you may have been to or may start popping up in our community here soon are that we're going to be absolutely committed to inclusivity, to keeping things sensory friendly, family friendly, safe, and as inclusive as possible. Did I already say inclusive? I really want to hammer that home. I really want people to understand that we're going to be inclusive. If you have ever experienced sensory overload, it's a crazy feeling. You feel out of control, you feel lost, you feel like how I'm talking right now. I feel lost and out of control. Why? Who gave me a microphone? Who gave me a camera? Who let me run a business? What is this? As a recently self-diagnosed autistic person myself, I have experienced sensory overload in a lot of different ways. Sense, especially triggering one for me, is cigarette smoke. My nose will run, my throat will close up, my eyes will water, I can't see, I can't think straight, and I have to get away from it. And so I know how horrible I feel in those moments, and I don't want people to experience what I had to experience. And I know that my own son suffers from a lot of these sensory overloads and imbalances. And I just wanted to create a place for us, for people like us, because there's so many out there. And whether or not you know that you have these issues, this can be a place for you. Another thing that we run into with my son is that he is an eloper. He loves to explore. He loves to test boundaries. And it's really disorienting for him if there's a door and he can open it, but people tell him, no, you're not supposed to go in there because it's either not clearly marked or it isn't locked or it isn't blocked or, all these other things that we could do to keep him from wanting to explore by making clear boundaries. So with my son's elopement in mind, one of my safety pledges is to keep kids safely contained in clear, boundaried areas. The entire place is going to be a place that they are allowed to go in. And if they aren't, it will either be blocked, clearly marked, or it will be explained on your first trip through. This is an area that we don't go in. So now the fun part, the really, really fun part. I am going to show you some of my inspiration photos, what I'm really hoping to have this place look like, what it's going to feel like, the vibes it's going to give, because I know you millennials like them vibes. Part of our commitment to being sensory friendly will be that the friend zone will also be a scent-free zone. So no smoking anywhere on the campus. It's going to be scent-free. Our cleaning products, our sanitizing products, our soap in the bathroom, signage is going to remind our lovely patrons that heavy perfumes, heavy lotions, although they smell wonderful at times, they're best saved for a different occasion. We are going to have adjustable and custom LED lighting in every single room. The actual overhead lights, although when I toured the facility, they were all very quiet lights. And I'm sensitive to, like, I can hear refrigerators, I can hear televisions, I can hear the stuff that most people can't hear. And I know that there are people whose ears are even more sensitive to mine. And I'm relying on those people to tell me, like, ooh, this is too loud. Can we do something about it? And I want to be able to say, yes, we absolutely can. We can make you comfortable. We can accommodate you. We can also do the same thing with the music. If the music is not your type, you don't like it, we have several playlists. So some of the wonderful features that I have in mind, that I'm envisioning, that I'm praying for, that I've put in for grants for, are a lot of these pieces of sensory equipment that are either in a school, so you have to either be enrolled in that school or you have to have permission to use it. It has to be during school hours. You have to be supervised by the teacher that's there. It has to be under their insurance, and just the red tape goes on. And I want this place to be open and public, and you can come use it when you need it, and it's there for you, and you're not limited by anything. But some of the features that I want this place to have is the adjustable and custom LED lights. I want to be able to hand you the remote control and you've got the room and you're sitting there and you're like, man, I'm feeling like I want some blue lights. I think blue lights would help me. And you can click the button and then blue lights and you feel a little calmer. And you're like, you know what? I want to watch dolphins, and I can turn on the projector and dolphins will show up. And you're like, man, it'd be great if I could hear the ocean. And we could bring in some ocean sounds. And if it's too loud, we can give you some ear defenders, or we can turn it down. Or if you're like, man, I'm really digging this, I really want to fully submerge myself in this, I'm seeking this sensory input, we can crank it up as loud as you need to, and it's not going to bother the other rooms because it's soundproof. We are going to have a variety of equipment that's specifically for your vestibular sense. And that's probably a word you've never heard before, because I sure didn't before I started digging into this. So your vestibular sense is, one example would be your sense of balance. It's where your body is in relationship to the space that's around it. So vertigo is affected by this. Your sense of balance, like I said, that feeling that you get in the middle of the night when you feel like you're jerking awake because you were falling in a dream, that's your vestibular sense kicking in. And sometimes this sense gets an imbalance, and we can help get you back in balance by things that spin, by things that swing, by things that will compress your body and release those awesome brain happy chemicals or happy brain chemicals. Either way, it's wonderful. So we're not going to only be sensory rooms. We're also going to be able to host birthday parties, community and holiday events. I am in the works for an imaginative play village. We're going to have a beam electronic projector. What it does is it sits on the ceiling and it projects like a video game onto the floor, and kids can step and earn points on little targets, or we can flip it and aim it at a wall if someone is like wheelchair bound and can't necessarily walk. And then we can give them Nerf balls and they can chuck these Nerf balls at it and earn the points that way. We can also do parent and taught play groups. I have a couple of artists and actors and other wonderful acts that can come and do some entertainment. I have some author friends who have agreed to do book readings and signings, and it's going to be a wonderful community place. Psst. I know what you're thinking. The Friend Zone, perfect name. But we also had a lot of second place considerations. Do you think you could guess what they were? Go to friendzoneoc.com, join our newsletter, and send us what you think our name almost was. The closest answer will win a 1-month pass to come play at the Friend Zone.